Hello, everyone. Today I bring you a little known and surprising fact about the father of psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud. Freud is an important figure in psychology, but there are many surprising aspects of his life. Are you ready? Let's get started. Number 1 Cocaine researcher Freud studied cocaine as a young man, and in 1884 he published a paper on coca. He tried cocaine himself and recorded its effects in detail. Freud wrote, "A small dose of cocaine is enough to make one feel as if one were in a coma." Freud wrote, "A small dose of cocaine gives energy and a desire to work." He initially recommended cocaine as a panacea. However, when the dangers of cocaine became apparent, Freud deeply regretted this research. Some believe that this experience influenced his later psychoanalytic theories. Number 2 Cigar addiction. Speaking of Freud, cigars are his trademark. Actually, he was a heavy smoker, smoking more than 20 cigars a day. He said, "If I can't smoke a cigar, I can't work. If you can't smoke a cigar, you can't work." For Freud, cigars were a source of creativity. However, this habit caused Freud to suffer from oral cancer. He underwent 33 surgeries during his lifetime and had to use a specially made prosthetic jaw. Even so, he never gave up his cigar until the end. Number 3 Archaeological mania. When you step into Freud's study, it looks like a museum. More than 2,000 ancient artifacts were on display, ancient relics from Egypt, Greece, and Rome. Freud called them "my old stone friends." He likened psychoanalysis to archaeology, describing it as digging up memories buried deep in the mind. So this hobby was a major influence in the formation of his theory. Number 4 Fear of numbers. Freud had a strange superstition about numbers. In particular, he had an unusual fear of the number 62. He firmly believed that he would die at the age of 62. As his 62nd birthday approached, Freud's anxiety reached its peak. But the day passed uneventfully. In fact, Freud lived to be 83. It is ironic that the father of psychoanalysis, who analyzed the fear of numbers, could not overcome his own superstition. Number 5 Beloved dog. Freud had a chow chow dog named Yofi. He was more than just a pet. Believe it or not, Yofi was present during Freud's therapy sessions. Freud believed that Yofi was a genius at seeing into the human personality. Freud put it this way: "Dogs know how to love, but they don't analyze their feelings. We should learn from him." Number 6 Member of a secret society. Freud had an unexpected side to him. He was a member of the secret society B'nai B'rith. This is an organization dedicated to the defense of Jewish rights. Freud gave regular lectures here and presented his early ideas on psychoanalysis. Freud was deeply involved with this organization and remained a loyal member throughout his life. That's an interesting fact that shows the relationship between his social beliefs and psychoanalytic theory. Number 7 A strange relationship with his wife. Freud's relationship with his wife Martha is a bit unusual by today's standards. To my surprise, they both slept in the same room with their sisters-in-law. Was the concept of privacy different from today? Even more surprisingly, Freud called his wife mother and she called him son. How ironic for a man who advocated the Oedipus complex. Number 8 Escape from Nazi Germany. In 1938, Nazi Germany annexed Austria. As a Jew, Freud was placed in a dangerous position. Fortunately, with the help of friends and supporters abroad, Freud and his family were able to defect to England. However, they were forced by the Nazis to pay an exit tax of about $225,000 in today's value. Freud was sarcastic. "The Nazis made me feel like such a fool. It was thanks to the Nazis that I first realized how valuable I was." Freud will spend the last year of his life in London, where he is living in exile. Number 9 A last wish. The end of Freud's life was a true expression of his beliefs. Suffering from terminal cancer, he made a shocking decision. He asked his doctor to give him a lethal dose of morphine. He said, "It's pointless torture now. It is time to end the discussion." On September 23, 1939, Freud chose euthanasia. This was an expression of his belief in the right. Number 10 Dream Book. A big failure and a big success. Freud's masterpiece The Dream Judgment, now known as a classic of psychology, was actually a huge failure when it was first published. In fact, it was a huge failure when it was first published. In the 6 years since its release, only 351 copies have been sold, and Freud was disappointed. The publishers were left with a mountain of inventory. However, it only took time for the Times to catch up. The book was later recognized as an important foundational work in psychoanalysis, and it became a bestseller read around the world. Number 11. G-phobia. It may come as a surprise, but Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, was actually a poor public speaker. Freud suffered from a fear of gibberish and often only read from a manuscript during his lectures. As a colleague at the University of Vienna testified, Professor Freud's lectures were not only a form of public speaking, but also a way for him to get his point across. Professor Freud's lectures were such that he rarely lifted his eyes from the manuscript. Interestingly, he had no problem handling one-on-one sessions with patients. Speaking in front of large groups of people was very stressful for him, but he was good at intimate dialogue. Number 12. Feud with disciples. Freud trained many disciples, but their relationships were not always good. In particular, he had a bitter feud with Carl Jung and Alfred Adler, and they eventually became insulated from each other. Freud is said to have said, "All those who oppose my theories are my enemies." It is said that because of this stubborn stance, Freud was quite lonely in his later years. His strong will to defend his theories ironically drove many people away. So far, we have looked at 12 surprising facts about Sigmund Freud. Starting from his cocaine studies, to his cigar addiction, to his passion for archaeology, to his last bold choice. His life was so complex and interesting that it could very well be the subject of psychoanalysis. Freud is known as the father of psychoanalysis, but he was also a man of many contradictions and flaws. Although today many of Freud's theories are scientifically rejected, his influence on the development of psychology and psychiatry is immeasurable. What can we learn from his life? What did you think? Were you surprised by this unexpected side of Freud? His life has so much to teach us, doesn't it? If you want to learn more about the surprising side of some of history's greats, check out the other videos we have uploaded. From Einstein's secret hobbies to Da Vinci's strange eating habits, you'll be amazed. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to mark your bell. That way, we will notify you as soon as a new video is uploaded. See you again in the next video. Goodbye.